Hey, what's up? It's Dave here from the Matt and Dave Show, thanking you for listening and reminding you to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you hear. I think you will, but you know, I'm biased.
He's Dave, I'm Matt, and this is the Matt and Dave Show. We got a lot to talk about today, man.
Dude, we have so much to talk about.
So much. What are you drinking? Out of your chalice.
This is homemade whiskey from my cousin.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
You have chosen wisely.
I have. This is definitely not the cup of a carpenter.
No, that's not the cup of Christ.
I technically chose poorly.
Well,
I'm going to grow old and wither before you.
It's a pretty kick-ass cup, though, man.
Thank you. My coworkers got it for me when I played King Arthur.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I thought that was a very appropriate gift.
You did that not too long ago, like a year ago, right?
Yep.
Nice.
I thought it'd be a way, I wanted to, we're recording late at night, which we normally don't do.
We don't normally do, no.
So I've dude, I'm going to enjoy some whiskey in my house out of a chalice.
You know how I know you're old?
Yeah.
That 8:45 is late at night.
Well, compared to when we normally record, which is noon 30.
It really
which is literally when I wake up.
It's true.
So.
Well, and it really does feel like it's cocktail time or like drinking.
It does.
Time,
it was this. I thought this was a
we
good
used to
opportunity.
record the show at night too.
We did, and then we drank.
Yeah. And then when we moved it to like the afternoon, it was like, I mean, you could drink in the afternoon. And Lord knows that we have.
Yeah.
But
you can. That's true.
But yeah, it's not something that we do often because, old. Well, here we are. Like, I thought this week that the most controversial thing that we would talk about was your distaste for Tom Haverford.
Oh, okay.
I did want to talk about that, but
sure.
But something else happened.
Please.
That is more controversial.
Yes.
We've got to talk about DC yet again.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this one they brought on themselves.
They did, but they didn't. We'll unpack
That's
it
what
all.
I'm saying, yeah.
We'll unpack it all. Also want to talk about some theme park news that I read about this morning.
Oh. All right.
And then see what else we might have time. And then I want to circle back around to maybe seeing if we can talk about Parks and Rec because you just started watching that.
I did, yes.
So, and I'm watching it again.
Are you really?
I am. Well, I told you I watch things at night when going to bed.
Sure.
So I'm on Parks and Rec now. I finished Friends in like a week, and now I'm on Parks and Rec. So kind of watching that slowly. Now that I know that you're watching it, I'm watching it slowly so I can remember stuff in case you talk about it.
Yep.
But we've got to talk about DC. We've got to talk about what's going on, and I want to walk step by step through this whole thing.
All right.
So we'll talk about the steps, and then we'll talk about that before we start speculating and getting into the next thing. But some interesting news came about yesterday morning. Breaking news. Henry Cavill out as Superman.
As of yesterday.
As of yesterday morning, out as Superman.
No more.
Which was a little surprising.
Yeah.
And according to the news, it was something happened with the negotiations. He was supposed to have a cameo role in the Shazam movie, which is, I think, DC's... Not next movie. The next movie is coming out, I think, is Aquaman, and then Shazam comes out.
And then Wonder Woman 84.
And then Wonder Woman 84. But Shazam is very much a big fan of Superman's. They share similar traits.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in the comic books, the Batman versus Superman, or Batman and Superman comic book series, like Shazam and Superman look alike, so much so that they change outfits so he can hide himself that he's not Superman, he's Shazam.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He goes to visit Lex Luthor, and he has to Batman and Superman are public enemies because Lex Luthor is the president.
Oh, wow.
And so to kind of get past whatever,
Batman
dresses up as Hawkman and Superman dresses up as Shazam. So I guess negotiations broke down because Henry Cavill was have a cameo as Superman. That didn't work out. And not too long ago, we got some news that Henry Cavill booked a job in the new Netflix The Witcher series.
Yes,
which I'm not familiar with The Witcher. I know that you are a little bit more than I am.
I am. I haven't played it, but I mean,
it's an adaptation of a video game, but it's a series on Netflix. It's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, it's a massive. It's a huge game, and that is a game-breaking game for a lot of people. It's one of those games that once you play it, you can't go back to other games that you've played because it does so many different things and so many things that games should do that no other game does.
Right.
It's one of those level games. Like the Witcher series in general, like it just the way it handles dialogue and morality and all that stuff.
Sure.
It's a very impactful game for a lot of people. So there's a lot of like fanboy emotions.
There's a lot of weight behind it.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's some
all right.
heft.
Well, and people were excited. I guess that he was a good choice for that part.
Yeah, I could say
But you know what stuck out for me? Well, the other thing that they said is there weren't going to be any more Superman movies for several years.
Yep.
Instead, they were going to shift focus onto this Supergirl movie that they've been talking about.
Yes.
Which again, I don't necessarily know that we need a Supergirl movie because we have Supergirl the television series. So let's just.
But would you make that same argument about a Flash movie?
I did.
Okay.
I don't think we need a Flash movie.
Because you have the
I
Flash
think
series.
we're saying everything we need to say with the Flash right now. Let's just, if you want to make him part of this extended universe that you have, that's fine. I get it. But I don't need a Flash
movie. He doesn't need his own movie.
Yeah, like make him. I like the idea of the buddy movie between him and Cyborg.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or even a buddy movie between him and Green Lantern once you establish Green Lantern again.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fine too. But anyway, so that was the news. 10 o'clock yesterday morning, and it kind of struck a weird note with me because the Shazam movie ended filming a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we just now hearing about this breakdown of negotiations over this cameo now? Like, why is this happening now? So has this been festering? What's been going on? Was he pissed about the mustache gate from Justice League, because we all know how that turned out. I heard that like the Mission Impossible movie did really well, and they were looking at like adding him more, maybe doing a spin-off with him and his character from Mission Impossible. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So it just seemed really, really weird to me.
Yep.
Really weird.
Yeah, I can see that.
What do you think?
I thought it was strange, but my strangeness, I mean, I didn't know when whatever stopped filming. But my strangeness was just how like the people involved were treating it on social media. Like it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was started posting weird shit on Instagram.
Well, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
But that was my take on it.
Let's the initial news hits and you're like, well, what happened?
Well, here's the thing. Like when the initial news happened, sadly, I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
I can see that happening. Like, I mean, it's not what I anticipated, but I envision all of the DCEU as this just giant, colossal, like, train wreck, clusterfuck, crash thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, of course, you fire him, sure. Like, why not? Like, why not? Of all the things that you've done, yeah, all right, It's like when a guy's like, a mass murderer and he, robs 17 stores, and then you find out that he's an arsonist on top of it. You're like, yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, you've already broken enough shit. Like, yeah, okay. Let's throw another log on the fire at this point.
Well, and that was some of the other thing, too, that they were saying that, a lot of the initial reaction from the internet I saw was everybody seemed to say, he was great as Superman. Nobody had a problem with him as Superman. Same thing as like Ben Affleck. Nobody had a problem with Ben Affleck as Batman.
No,
it was all the storytelling, the writing, the direction.
I was not opposed to him as Superman. Like,
I actually thought he was a great Superman.
Yeah.
For what he had to work with.
Yeah.
The flashes, the moments that they gave him, especially at the end of Justice League.
Yeah,
when he came in, and then he seemed more like the actual Superman that we know and love, and the Boy Scout and the truth, the justice, and American way, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I bought
which
it.
is great.
Yeah,
and I thought
I was
great.
never taken out by his performance. Like I
no,
was
never
like that's not that's not what Superman is.
And when there was talk of Man of Steel 2, now that we know that Zack Snyder's not going to be involved, I was in.
Yeah,
I was in despite what was happening.
Sure,
I was in. So then there was speculation. Did he have a choice? Was he fired by Warner Brothers because he signed up for The Witcher? And then an hour and a half later, reports started coming in that Michael B. Jordan was reportedly being considered for Superman. Now, Michael B. Jordan, if you aren't familiar, Michael B. Jordan was just in Black Panther as Killmonger. And he was in the Fantastic Four movie, which people hated. He played Johnny Storm.
Yep.
And he plays Adonis Creed in the Creed, in the Creed movies, the Rocky sequels, Creed
really
and Creed
just
2.
crushes it in a lot of things,
and he really does. Like I didn't see Fantastic Four, but we all know that was a train wreck.
That wasn't his fault.
But he was fantastic in Killmonger.
Yeah,
he was fantastic. I'm sorry, he was fantastic as Killmonger. I mean, that last line that he had, it was just amazing. Like, all kinds of feels there.
Dude, I got it.
Like, whoo. So, it makes sense. Now, before the fanboys get all kind of all...
Well, you can't have a black Superman.
Right, you can't have a black Superman. Well, okay, if maybe you don't want to cast a black Clark Kent, but in the comic book universe, there is a black Superman. I think it's Earth 2.
No, it's not Earth 2.
I thought it was Earth 2.
No, it's a higher number Earth than 2.
It's a different Earth.
Yes, but there is an alternate universe Superman.
And in DC, there is a lot of alternate universes. And if you're a fan of the Flash television series, or the Arrowverse television series, you'll know that there are many. As a matter of fact, while the Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow take place on one Earth, Supergirl takes place on a completely different Earth.
Yes.
But they can go between... Earths very easily, apparently.
Now
they can.
Now they can.
So, but that started in the DC comics.
33. I think in the TV verse, it's not like a high number. I think they've like kept it down to like.
Oh, there's a lot.
But it's not like it's in like the 30s.
Yeah.
Because when they did that Crisis on Earth X, they were like, well, we've been to all the different Earths. They're like, well, there's one nobody likes to talk about.
Right. And that's the Nazi
And that's
one.
Nazi Earth.
Right. I just finished Flash, this new season of Flash.
Oh, yeah.
I still have Green Arrow and, or I still have Arrow and Supergirl to finish, but I've finished watching
You watch all of them. I can only watch Legends and Flash.
No, I watch them all.
Yep.
And I'm glad that I do.
I'm
glad that I do because now I know what's going on in all of them.
Yeah.
Like, I watch them all, and I watched everything all up until the Earth X Crisis. And the girlfriend, she watches just Flash and Arrow. No. So when she watched, she's like, "What happened to Barry? And what happened to the wedding?
Right.
Why is he? Who is this person? What's going on?" And then in the next episode, it's like they're all gone. And I think the conclusion of the Crisis on Earth X was on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So she didn't watch it. She's just like, it's like,
well, look, you have to.
All right.
If you're gonna watch the crossover ones, you have to watch all the crossover.
Right.
You can't be like brand loyal for the crossover ones.
Well, she didn't realize. She just was like, "Oh, there's a whole okay here. What happened? What happened to all these other characters?" It was adorable.
All right.
So getting back to Superman.
Sorry.
Yes, getting back to Superman. There is a black Superman, and I guess he was adopted by Kal-El's parents on Krypton. Before he was sent away. I don't know what the deal is, but he grew up with Kal-El as a brother, like an adopted brother.
Yeah.
I don't know the entire story, but there is which actually makes it interesting.
Comic book precedents.
Right, exactly. Yes. And if that's the way that you're going to go, it makes it interesting because
there's some receipts.
Right. It makes it interesting because then you can tell a completely different story with a different kind of a background that we don't know. Makes it a little interesting.
Yep.
I'm on board.
Because they were in talk. I'd heard rumors about them doing the, is it the What Ifs or the Elseworlds? Basically, Superman Red Sun and stuff like that. I'd heard the rumors about that as a movie as well.
Well, if you remember when we were talking about the Joker movies way back when, I said, wouldn't that be interesting if they just did all these kind of different versions of the Joker background origin? Like, like how when Heath Ledger makes up all these different stories, what if we just... What are like all the what if Joker did this? Yeah. What if so and so did this?
I don't remember which one. Marvel owns the rights to one name and DC's is the other, and I never remember which one's which. But they're all. But it's like the what if stories,
right?
In the comic book universe,
right? Well, so that was the thing. So we were left for all this time knowing that Henry Cavill was out as Superman. Then we thought, well, maybe it was because of The Witcher. Then there was speculation on maybe they wanted to get rid of him. Maybe they felt that he was making too much money. Maybe they felt that he was at fault for all the crappy Superman movies.
Which is weird.
Which is crazy.
Okay.
And then there was a source from the studio that was quoted as saying, Superman is like James Bond. After a certain look, you can
totally rebook who that is.
And I don't think that I agree with that.
No, Superman is not James Bond.
You can't just shoehorn an actor in there. It's a different kind of a vibe.
Yep.
I
mean, look what they did with Batmans. Like you went through 4 different Batmans, but like not like over the lifetime. Like you can wait a bit and like redo it, and that's cool.
Right.
But if you go like back to back to back, it doesn't work.
Right, exactly.
And that has been proven time and time again.
Exactly. So then we've gone through this. Then we start hearing at 12:13. This is 2 hours later.
Yep.
That Ben Affleck is out as Batman,
which had been
rumored. This had been rumored for a long time.
Right.
This is not surprising.
Yeah. Nobody was shocked by this.
Right.
News.
But I'm thinking, okay, so it sounds like you guys are trying to distance yourself from Batman v Superman, which is fine. You should. But the actors aren't the problems.
Nope.
And you've already established this extended universe, and you already have Wonder Woman on the second one. You already have the Aquaman from that universe coming out with his own movie. You're sticking to your guns with this Flash movie, apparently, for whatever reason.
Right.
Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? But I just heard a rumor like a week or so ago about how Ben Affleck, he's supposed to be in rehab, but he's like putting his rehab on hold or coming in and out of rehab so he can get back in shape for the Batman movie, which apparently is going to be shooting soon. I don't know. It's weird.
I have not heard anything about that.
Yeah, you didn't hear about the rehab?
No.
Oh yeah, he's back in rehab.
Happens.
Yeah.
So can I tell you one of my favorite things that I saw? And I might be jumping the gun again, and you can correct me if I am. It was the troll speculation about that Marvel should scoop him up.
Yes. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. I'm
not going to interject anymore. I'll let you go, and I'll say words occasionally. I don't want to fuck with your timeline.
We'll get there. So then we get a word. We get a tweet. Was it a tweet? It was a tweet from Henry Cavill's agent.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Garcia is her name, and the tweet says, "Be peaceful. The cape is still in his closet. WB has been and continues to be our partners as they evolve the DC universe. Anticipate a WB statement later today." Now what? His cape? What's going on now? What are we doing? Are we just saying there's going to be no more Superman movies?
Or are they getting rid of the cape?
Are they going to go with the blue electric Superman? Or the black suit Superman, which I don't know.
The black suit and mullet Superman?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. So that was really, really weird. And this is all in the span of like 2 hours.
Yeah, this is
So you can imagine, like, the fanboys and the trolls are going crazy, which leads us to...
Yes. So I started seeing all the people are like, oh my God, Marvel should scoop him up.
Absolutely.
And then what could he play in Marvel? Like, what would be the best thing that he could do?
Mm-hmm.
And the best suggestion, which I saw repeatedly, was Sentry.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of him playing the Superman knockoff in the Marvel universe is like the ultimate troll casting.
Yes.
In troll casting.
And because why?
Because, Sentry's actually an interesting character.
Right.
Like, which is, I mean, not that Superman isn't interesting. Superman's iconic, but he's not like... I've seen him interesting on paper occasionally. Occasionally, I've seen him interesting on paper. But, like, Sentry's just he is literally his own hero and his own villain.
Right.
Like, and it's like this phenomenal amount of power, agoraphobic on top of it, like scared shitless of what he can do, and also the
multi-dimensional character.
Yeah, just really fleshed out and fucked up.
Yeah,
and which I think would be a fun as an actor to kind of like take on.
I agree.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I don't know that we've seen enough from him to make that kind of call. Can he handle that kind of role? I don't know.
Fair.
Maybe he can.
I'm sure he could.
I don't think that they played his Superman, as one-dimensional as he has been in the past.
No, I agree.
But definitely haven't seen enough to say he could do that. You know what I find interesting, though? Some of the Sentry costumes are very similar to that of the Superman costume.
Yeah, very much so. Like it, and it really was just like troll theory. That's really what it was. Like, it was Troll Theory 101, but it was hilarious.
It was like when Marvel got rid of James Gunn. Everybody was like, "Hey, DC, pick him up."
Right.
Maybe they'll just make a trade. Maybe they'll just make an outright trade. We'll give you Henry Cavill if you give us James Gunn. If I were DC, I'd make that trade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I don't need another Superman movie, but I do need a talented storyteller to come in and help me write this fucking ship.
Anything.
Right. So finally, after the trolls hit the internet with the speculation,
God, it was so good.
and Henry Cavill's agent comes out and says the cape's still in the closet, and everybody's freaking out, Warner Brothers finally releases a statement, and this was like 3 hours later.
Yes.
Warner Brothers says, while no decisions have been made regarding any upcoming Superman films, we've always had great respect for and a great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged. That was the statement.
Yeah, that's like not even a statement.
That's like a non-statement.
Yeah. That is, I would say that's even more than a non-statement.
Right.
That's like, did you kill your wife? Flowers smell great
Right.
in the spring.
Right. Well, or it would be like, I remember the one time that I loved my wife so much that I brought her flowers.
Yes.
Okay, but did you kill your wife? I don't know why we went with killing your wife. Do we need to talk about something, Dave?
No.
Okay.
But it's one of those like
No, I hear what you're saying, though.
You know, where you have to put out a statement.
Right.
Like, you know, your wife's dead. You have to. They make movies about this.
Right. It was a non-statement, but they said something.
Yeah. And if anything, my wife's going to kill me.
But
exactly.
That's true.
Let's be
yes.
real about this.
Yes. Well, I wasn't going to, insinuate your wife, but
Yeah.
somebody's wife?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jesus. Wow.
You know people. I don't know.
Wow.
All right. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess if I'm Warner Brothers PR, I'm thinking I've got to say something, but I don't want to say too much because I got to feel out the water.
They definitely did not. They definitely met that metric. Right. They did not say too much.
They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Other than we like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Which is
we
fine.
like Henry Cavill.
And Hollywood is like the land of not burning bridges because, you can't say something. I mean, everything's connected out there.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what happens if they have a role or a movie that they want to purchase that he's in or something like that?
Yeah,
so you don't want to burn any bridges, and I get it. And then Zack Snyder gets involved.
Oh, this I didn't know.
And all he basically did was just kind of throw up an early storyboard from the original Man of Steel and say S means hope. So I don't know what he was trying to. I don't know. He's still talking about Superman and all his stuff, kind of morbidly, kind of vaguely talking about things. I don't know why. He has nothing to do with anything having to do with DC anymore, which is probably for the best. So then after that, kind of got quiet.
Yes.
And then John Hamm wants to get involved.
Yes.
And he says, I'm interested in playing Batman.
Yeah.
And then the internet went,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, I have been saying for years that John Hamm would be the perfect Batman.
Yes.
I think he'd be the perfect Batman.
I agree.
He's got the jawline.
Yep.
He's got the Bruce Wayne look. He's got the swagger. He's got the action ability.
Looks good in the tux.
He looks good in the tux.
Boom.
I'm on board.
Bruce Wayne is the American James Bond. Strong jawline, look good in the tux, swagger. Done.
Exactly, which is kind of Bruce Wayne-ish.
Yeah.
Of course, there's nothing there. There's all kinds of speculation, but nothing.
Did you see the Josh Gad tweet?
I did. So then Josh Gad gets involved and says, "I'm ready to be the Penguin to John Hamm's Batman."
Yes.
Which, take my money.
Yeah.
Just take my money.
Would watch that movie.
I'm ready to give them my money. Sorry, I'm trying to read this too. So, but now, so then the trolls, they're not happy with just speculating for Henry Cavill being Sentry or whatever Marvel property. They want to start casting Superman.
Yes.
And I think the internet is ready for the Nicolas Cage Superman.
I'm remarkably okay with honestly, at this point.
Really?
Let's just see it. Let's just see it.
Let's just see what happens?
Let's just see what happens.
I think the ship has sailed on Nicolas Cage.
I think you can get him for a bargain price.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you could shoot a $15 million Superman movie that would really make its money back.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
You could double your money easily on that.
No.
I mean, you couldn't have the rights to it,
But you could make a Smooperman movie, and I think that would be good.
That's true.
Smooperman with Nicolas Cage.
I'm with it. Or Bizarro.
Dude, actually casting Nicolas Cage as Bizarro,
that'd be pretty cool.
I would not be opposed to that.
No, me neither. All right, so two more little steps in this Superman saga.
Yeah.
Last night, Henry Cavill finally posts something.
This was on Instagram.
He goes
right?
on to Instagram, and he posts a video of himself. And in the video, he's wearing a shirt that says Krypton Lifting Team. And he says, "Today was exciting. #Superman." And the video, if you can hear the music, he looks up at the camera, and he slowly lifts a Superman action figure into frame. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I don't know why that song was playing, but it just took another weird turn.
This is really weird.
And at that point, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, honestly, I checked out pretty early in this. I was like, he's in, he's out. Yeah, I don't care anymore. I was really like done pretty quickly with it. Outside of the Josh Gad, John Hamm thing, which was interesting.
Were you done?
Yeah, I was done. I
Why?
mean, honestly, it just because I don't care.
Okay.
Like, I don't care. Like, I was like, oh, he's out. That sucks. And then it's like this, like, it's like when a girl you don't like breaks up with you, and you're like, oh man, well, you know, that's cool. Like, I'll miss you. And then she's like, well, I'm back. And you're like, well, I mean, I was trying to avoid having a conversation about it, but that's good that you're still interested. Okay, I'm gonna go again. All right. Well, it's fine.
Right.
But I'm back again. Okay, we're good. Like, I don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly, the cynic in me thinks they're just negotiating through the press.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the true cynic in me is like, you're just negotiating through the press. You're trying to, like, you know, show Warner Brothers like.
So you think that the Henry Cavill's team kind of like pushed this narrative,
false narrative?
About, like,
now, I don't think they created the false narrative. I think they were smart enough to fan the flames of it enough to see what would happen. Like, you know, and for like renegotiation is like, look, this is what happened the last time. You know, people thought that I was fired. You became the fucking laughing stock of the internet. So maybe you throw an extra $20 million on there, and I go, you know, snort coke off my new yacht.
You'd be a great agent.
I'm just a terrible person, so I guess yes.
Then you'd be a great agent. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like that. But this is the kind of thing you would do, like, right? I'm not the only one.
You aren't the only one.
Yeah.
Because less than 24 hours after this first report came out, now TMZ is saying that this Superman conflict is fake.
Like, for sure?
Nothing's for sure. Nobody's
right.
going to come out for sure and say, yeah, it was all gag, April Fool's Day in September. I mean, you're never going to get them to say
September
that.
Fools!
But it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Because
we're talking about DC property.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing, though. Like,
they probably saw what happened with Marvel and James Gunn, and they're like, we need to create a little bit of that buzz. We need to get fans on board. We need to get people excited, because once we're going to say that he's out, and then we're going to bring him back, and then people will be really excited about a Man of Steel 2 movie. Let's create some buzz. I can totally see somebody at Warner Brothers.
I could see somebody doing that.
Can't
I mean,
you?
Yeah, but it doesn't make me want to go see, like.
We're not talking about you, Dave.
Well, I'm talking about
but
me.
we're talking about the masses.
No, I get it, but and that's one of these things about like these viral, you know, guerrilla type marketing things. Like, it can go like, it's not as pinpoint as other things
It's
are.
not. It's not.
I don't know. Since this is, you know, half my show, I'm going to give half my opinion and say, fuck them. Like, it doesn't make me love it. I really tuned out about it. I was like, I felt bad.
But I think you're looking.
I felt bad for them for a little bit.
Right.
I was like, oh, dude, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was a little hopeful. And then I was like, Super Cynic checked in, and I'm like, nah, fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, well, I don't care now. And I might not see Aquaman now. I don't know. That's not true.
Really?
No, that's not true at all. But you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't particularly enamored with the Henry Cavill character. I don't think he was bad, but I just hadn't seen enough of the body of work to really latch on to him.
Sure.
To begin with.
But let's look at it from a perspective of the marketing technique behind this and the buzz that they try to generate.
They did.
The business side of it. Not the character, not the actor, not anything. Just the whole drama behind the whole thing.
Sure. But doesn't the fact that
and the fact that the studio would go to, now I can't think of anything where somebody purposely did something like this to create buzz on something that's not even happening.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
I don't know.
It's fascinating.
I don't think it's fascinating. I mean, unless it was a negotiation tactic on their part, which then I think, yeah, well played.
But what if they both got together and said, we need to generate some buzz behind our DC universe. We need to get people caring about our actors or our characters. And they looked at what happened with DC and James Gunn, and they said, we need something similar to that.
I don't think that's
you don't?
the case. No, I don't.
In a business of copycats, you don't think that that's what happened?
I don't think that's the case. I really don't think that's the case. Just because, they represent, like, you have these big shining lights.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was going to do something like that, I would have done it with, like, Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, this is, he's not going to play Aquaman after this. He's fielding other offers.
But you don't want to fuck with that movie because that movie's done.
Right.
They've already started generating the positive buzz.
That's what I'm saying. But, like,
they don't want to mess with that. That's too dangerous.
Or honestly, I would have done it with Ben Affleck.
But there's already been speculation. Actually, you know what? You're right. That would have been perfect.
I would have done it with Ben Affleck.
Unless there really is some validity behind all these reports about will he, won't he.
I don't know.
If they really are going back and forth and there's questions on whether or not Matt Reeves wants to use him or whether or not Ben Affleck wants to be a part of it.
To be used.
Right, exactly. So if there is some validity behind this and there's some real stuff happening behind the scenes, you don't want to do that. You take the person who is there, who you have signed, who people like, but you don't have anything going on with him. You have no movie in the pipeline. You have nothing coming up with him. You have no Justice League 2. You have no
Here's the thing.
You've had a Man of Steel 2 coming out, and there was reports that they kind of wanted to use him as like the Nick Fury of the DC universe to kind of keep everybody together.
Here's the thing. I think that I'm not saying that it's not plausible, and I'm not even saying that it's not a fair theory. I'm really not. Like, I mean, we're all in speculation mode anyways. It is what it is.
Oh, absolutely. That's like half of what we do.
Yeah. I think it is a very fair and cogent theory. It just doesn't, there's just something about it that doesn't feel like that to me. And I can't, like, tangibly explain it.
So you buy more that it was a negotiation tactic
Yes.
from one side or the other?
Yes.
You just don't know which one?
I mean, if it was a negotiation tactic, I would say it would be on the side of the agent, specifically since the agent tweeted as well. I believe that. Because, you have the high ground there. You're the one that's tweeting. You're forcing Warner Brothers to put a statement out. So then Warner Brothers has to then think they go to whatever corporate bullshit meetings that they are, and they go, well, we have to, then you bring in the agent, like, what are you doing here? He's like, look, I'm just saying, it's a possibility. You don't know what's going to happen. Huh?
As a sports
I'm
fan?
roll my balls around.
I appreciate the hand gesture, too, that
you're
nobody
welcome.
else sees but me. As a sports fan, I appreciate this because we see this all the time in sports.
Yeah, this is
people
total,
sitting
like,
out training
this
camp.
is like Arliss 101.
This is Arliss 101. But you never really see this with Hollywood agents.
Mm-mm.
And it makes me wonder if it turns out like that this was the case, somebody's using the press as like a negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
Because maybe they did want to use Henry Cavill as Superman. So maybe they needed to create like a new contract and they weren't going to pay him as much because they felt that with Superman and Batman not doing well and Man of Steel not doing well and Justice League not doing well, that they didn't really need to pay him as much as he's probably worth.
Yeah.
But I'd say that you have a solid Superman And I think you need to kind of keep that around if you want to.
And sometimes you just got to be reminded of what you got.
It's true. It's very true.
Sometimes what's the criminal saying? Sometimes you got to execute a hostage just to let the cops know you mean business.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
but it doesn't surprise me that you have.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta. Actually, that was my. I used to say that a lot when I taught. Like, if you want the kids to respect you, you gotta, you gotta rip some stickers off the wall just to let them know who's boss.
Wow. You would be traumatizing as a teacher.
Dude, that was effective.
Oh, boy. You say effective, I say traumatizing. Whatever. Anyway, well, that's the Superman drama. We'll see what happens.
That's my opinion. I think it's negotiating tactic.
It's fine. It's fine. I listen. That's why we have the show, so you can voice your opinion.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. What comes of this? I personally don't think we need a Supergirl movie. I really don't think that we need any of these movies, to be honest with you.
Here's the thing.
The only movie that I'm interested in seeing is Aquaman because it's not something we've seen before.
Yeah. Here's another thing, and then I'll drop it after this. Like, I think it's a negotiating tactic because this is a very quick, nuanced plan, and corporate marketing is just this big, slow, lumbering beast that doesn't turn on a dime, and this is a turn on the dime operation.
If that's true, which was why I question why the Shazam cameo is the catalyst of this.
And again, where did they get that info from, though?
What do you mean?
How do you know that the Shazam cameo was the catalyst?
If it came from the corporate marketing side of things,
right?
They probably thought of this back when they were negotiating, and now they finally released it.
See,
I can't.
You could say that on the other side too. It works perfectly well for both ways. There was.
You're right.
He was kind of underutilized in this.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. All I'm just saying is you can't, just because of that, you can't discount the corporate side of things
and I'm not discounting it. I just find it highly less plausible. I won't discount anything.
Well, today's people understand that marketing kind of happens quickly, so
yeah,
maybe they've aged down with their marketing department, and the new kids say, "Hey, this is what we need to do."
This isn't the Deadpool marketing team.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm look, and that's another case of something going viral and then turning into millions and millions of dollars.
The other
of business.
question is, who leaked that?
The Deadpool footage?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a debate that's been forever.
Right.
Nobody knows.
And again, I would say, and I will always make the argument that it is either Ryan Reynolds or his agent that leaked it.
It could have been Tim Miller too, or the writers.
Yeah, or
it was not anybody at Fox.
Right.
It definitely was not anybody at Fox.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, because giant, slow, lumbering battleships, quick, agile mosquitoes.
I don't know. That's you bring up a good point.
Yeah,
you do bring up a good point. I personally believe it was Ryan Reynolds who leaked that video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, as do I.
Yeah. How much time we got?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Do the thing.
I'll move the thing. I don't care.
Do the thing.
I don't care.
I can't see anything.
I know. Neither can I. That's the best part.
That.
I know.
I hate that.
What do we got next? Did you want to do the Tom Haverford thing?
I don't know.
Let's do the Tom Haverford thing. Let's do the Tom Happy. Let's do the Tommy Habs, and the Tommy Habs not.
Oh, jeez. All right. So you finally started watching Parks and Rec.
I did.
And what do you think of Parks and Recreation?
I think Parks and Recreation, honestly, if I could say something about it,
it is literally
a great show.
You do a great Chris impersonation.
Matthew Shield.
That's great. And Perkins. That's fantastic.
Perkins.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you really like Rob Lowe on the show?
I do. Well, and I love it because it's such a very specific character.
Uh-huh.
Like, it is a specific character choice. Mm-hmm. And it's just not something you just associate with Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe usually plays some sort of iteration of Rob Lowe. Like, you don't see him do a real big, deep character-ish dive. As he's gotten older, I think he's done more of that stuff.
That is, when you watch that show, when you watch him do that part, you see that character. Yes. You don't see Rob Lowe. Nope. You see that character, which I love. I absolutely love that. And I think that's the part he took right after he left The West Wing.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I love it. I love it all around. It's just a fun, engaging show. It has.
What season are you on?
I just started the 4th.
Okay, so you see how like Leslie Knope kind of actually not just Leslie, but everybody like progresses, and they finally like I think it was like the middle of season 3 or like towards the beginning of season 3 where they just kind of all came into their own, and that's when everybody started to become who they actually were for the rest of the series.
Yeah,
that's
good.
They
just introduced Ron's first wife.
Yeah, Tammy 2, Tammy 1,
Tammy 1,
Tammy 1.
Yeah,
and that was Patricia Richard. No, what was her name? Fuck.
Doesn't matter.
What was her name? Tammy 1 was, I want to say Patricia Richardson.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I don't know.
I have to go to the Google.
Go to the Google. Anyways, but they did it. So they've been selling Tammy 2 as this like, and wonderfully, I would like to say, Tammy 2 is just an immaculate character. Love her to death. She's a wrecking ball, an F5 tornado.
Patricia Clarkson.
Yes. Of just destruction and wanton pain and anarchy. And it's just great. It's great to watch.
And I love that it's his real life wife.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's great to watch.
Yeah.
It's just great, So they go through 3 seasons of establishing her as that archetype.
Yep.
And it's my favorite, and it's kind of an overused trope, but when it's done well, it's perfect. So when they introduced Tammy 1, like the trope is like if you want to introduce a really bad guy, you have the current bad guy terrified of it or killed by it or swallowed by it. Like you're fighting this bad guy and all of a sudden like something just eats it like right in front of you. It's the T-Rex raptor thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like oh God, like that's terrifying, but not as terrifying as this.
Right.
Player 2 has joined.
Right.
And they did that with this.
Or
like
the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex.
Yeah. Like it's that type of thing. Like you introduce Tammy 2 and because you're like, why is she there? Like she has no reason to be there. And the only reason she is there or written into that scene is so she can like nope the fuck out when Tammy 1 shows up.
Right.
Which just perfectly establishes Tammy 1 as this like super dinosaur. Like it's such
the Spinosaurus of wives of Tammys.
Of Tammys, yes, the Spinosaurus of Tammys, and that's exactly what it is, and it introduces it very, very well. And I was just a massive fan. I love the universe they built.
Yeah,
because it's consistent.
Yeah.
It's Purd is always Purd.
Yep.
The reporter girl is always the reporter girl.
Shauna Tweep.
Yes.
Yep.
Who did? She was in the Badman series with Pete Holmes.
Yeah.
Which I watched one of the Badman. I was like, God, that girl looks familiar to me now. Why do I say, oh God, it's the reporter girl? What else? I thought thought that the Brandanowitz exit was abrupt,
very anticlimactic.
You're like, oh, because it's
in some ways it's almost kind of like Andy-esque from The Office.
Yes,
like Andy Bernard-esque.
Yeah,
like it was like everything was going bad for him, and then he just was gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. You're like, well, and it's weird because like it just seemed like such a last minute decision because you're like, oh yeah, like he's involved in storylines, he's got plot, he's doing it, and then he's like, we're good, bye.
Right.
Like, but you were just that. But okay.
Yeah, I often look at that and I go, because they brought Rob Lowe and Adam Scott on as guest stars.
Yes.
The end of season 2.
Yes.
And I really feel like maybe they felt like. And I was trying to go back and remember like what the timeline was because Rob Lowe left West Wing, and I think it was almost immediately after that is when he went to Parks and Rec. So was he signed on as a guest star, and then when he became available, they signed him up for a full time? Maybe they got an audience reaction, or maybe they felt like it clicked. Like I don't know, but
it seemed planned to me.
Well, it didn't. It didn't seem planned until the end because then in season 3, it was like that's when everybody started to like really kind of. They really started when the series started. Leslie was more of a Michael Scott kind of a character, like really kind of silly and off in her own little world, and everybody else was like in on the joke about her. And then she kind of started to go more towards this like sweet, just workaholic, really enthusiastic kind of a character. So she kind of turned,
but a savantish,
right?
In her in her element,
yeah,
like
But I think the Brandanowitz character was more of the what's the word I'm looking for? The antitheses of that.
Yes. Oh yeah, he didn't give a shit about his job.
Right.
He barely checked
and
in.
straight, and like the straight arrow character. Like the Jim.
Yeah.
The panning to the camera, like, is this the ridiculousness of what's happening here?
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I think once they brought in Rob Lowe and brought Adam Scott, they didn't really need him anymore. I don't know. I always felt like he was the Achilles heel of the show, and then when they got rid of him, that's when the show took off.
Interesting.
I was never a big fan of that character at all. He's kind of he was supposed to be like the love interest, but he was always kind of a dick.
Yeah,
which is why I wasn't hurt when he broke up with Anne, and when he lost out on when like the chicks were like dating Tom instead of him, and I was like, yeah, so no big deal. I don't really care because he's kind of a dick.
Wow,
I'm glad he's gone.
Wow, all right, that's fair. I liked it. I mean, I liked him. I thought he was cool. I mean, I'm not mourning him.
He's your kind of guy.
Yeah, he really is my kind of guy. Yeah, yeah, I liked him.
Maybe that's why I didn't like him.
That's fair. You know what?
I can only put up with one.
That's perfectly reasonable.
It's either you or Mark Brandanowitz.
Oh my God!
He only lasted a season and a half. Yeah. You've lasted about 22 seasons.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh fuck! I'm the Brandanowitz. Shit.
Oh man, what a revelation!
No, I am. I'm totally a Brandanowitz. Like, this is stupid. I don't know why I bother with this. Is there a camera I can look into?
I just don't care.
I don't care.
You've said that like twice on this show alone.
I just don't care.
I just don't give a fuck.
I don't care. Oh, hi, Anne. Claire. Whatever.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There it is.
There's a revelation for you.
Newsflash.
All right, but
what
really kind of bothered me, not bothered me, but I was surprised that you don't like Tom.
Well, so people have been talking to me about Tom.
Okay, continue, please.
Yeah. So people have been
that changes what we were talking about the other day. I did not know that.
Yeah, people have been. Well, I mean, and I've been tasked with work. For reasons I don't feel like going into it takes hours, but I've been tasked by work to do like research on Tom and, explore his character and stuff like that. So, which is the impetus for me watching Parks and Rec. Like, I'm exploring the Tom character. And the Tom character, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but for 3 full seasons, the Tom character is shitty and creepy. He's just shitty and creepy and whiny and self-indulgent and patently unlikable. Just unlikable. Like, I don't like him. I don't like the look of his stupid face. I just don't like him. He just whines. He thinks he's entitled to something, and he doesn't want... Oh, God, it's the worst.
Don't hold back, Dave. I mean, tell us how you really feel.
I'm not going to hold back.
I've never seen you actually have this sort of emotion towards any other character, like, ever.
Well, and here's the thing, though. Like, I guess it's because I'm supposed to look at him in particular. So I've played like a very close attention to him because people, there's people like, yeah, just, let's look at Tom here. And I'm like, I have been, and it's not a pretty reflection. Like, are people like, oh, that Tom's funny and he does the food things. I mean, yeah, he's got some cute pet names for food, but, pretty much a date rapist with cute pet names for food.
Okay. So I did not know that people were like talking to you about him and like kind of putting him up on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Now, I think that is the problem here. You've gone into this with the wrong mindset. And somebody's forcing you to study this character so you can speak like this
him.
character.
Yeah,
you can tap into his essence.
Yes.
So you can do things.
Yes.
And forcing you to not be yourself.
Yes.
Somebody's telling you, we're getting probably off Matt and Dave's show topic.
We're way getting off Matt and Dave's show
somebody's forcing you to be something that you're not and something they want you to be, and you are resenting it.
But there's definitely a little resentment going into it.
If you just watch the show without having to study him or listen to him or
Right.
whatever, you would just see that he's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous.
He is
yes,
ridiculous,
I can completely
and that
see
is the comedy behind it, because it's not realistic. He's ridiculous, and it's one of those things where he steers into his ridiculous skid, if you will.
Okay.
And I think that's where the comedy from it comes. He's harmless. You know, he shows a little feeling. He is harmless. He's completely harmless.
I think
he's like 5'2", 98 pounds. He's not actually going to be a date rapist, because a 12-year-old girl could fight him off. Like, he's not going to be a date rapist. He's not serious. He's not going to land the girl, but it's the ridiculousness of it, right?
And I wish it was just And yes, you're absolutely right. I completely agree with you 100%. But the problem is I have to analyze it.
Right.
Like, so I'm really I'm taking his words to heart. I'm taking his actions to heart. And yes, just because everybody else is dismissive of that doesn't negate those actions at all.
Right.
Like, it really, watching it now, I'm just like, God, it's just, and it could be because of the time I'm watching it. I'm watching this in 2018, and the first 3 seasons of Tom are not very 2018 friendly. It's not a comfortable fit in that glove.
I think you need to get into that mindset, into the 2013, 2014 mindset.
And again, I understand it. I do.
Right. Well, as I told you, there's some redeeming qualities of him,
which is fine.
And I think it's more of the style and his quote unquote flavor that you need to be watching, and not so much.
I get that,
the rapey, creepy stuff.
But as I'm watching it for the other parts, because I can mimic tone and I can mimic all of that.
Right.
But as I'm watching it, I'm still looking at the other parts.
Right.
And I'm not gonna I can't just ignore that.
Right.
Like, I'm still gonna have an opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, you're not wrong. I just think that I was able to take it for the entertainment value.
Sure.
I'd have to study it. I could just look at it and go, what a ridiculous clown.
Right.
And you're
right.
like, I got to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That makes I can forgive you a little bit more now. I can forgive you a little bit more, because there were so many times, like over the past couple of days, where I just wanted to text you in the middle of that, like, I can't believe you have a problem with this dude. He's completely harmless. He's so ridiculous. I don't think that you understand the character at all, and I think that you don't understand him because you didn't go into it the right way,
which is perfectly fair. I'm more than willing to admit that. But it's like, as a Brandanowitz.
True. Yes, there you go. How would Mark Brandanowitz look at Tom? And that's exactly what you're doing.
Right. Like,
because there were a lot of times where he would say that.
Yeah,
that's just not right.
That's not right,
cool.
dude. Just close.
Yeah.
Just close. Be cool and close. Don't stop with the words, man. Just shut up.
And the words is what he's known for.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, it would even be, I would find him more charming if John Ralphio wasn't like a more interesting version of him.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. John Ralphio is a more interesting version of him?
Yep.
How do you figure that?
Well, it's like he has all the patter, like the cool way of, I'm going to put air quotes around cool.
Uh-huh.
But that interesting way of talking, that like faux, like it's clearly a faux smooth persona. Like, it's clearly something that he wears that's not really him. It's just more polished. It's better executed. And I love the fact that he like retreats. Like, there's certain people, Donna in particular,
right?
Like, and I dig that. Like, he's like, he knows where it works. He knows where it works. And then he smells where it doesn't work.
Right.
He's like, nope, we're good. Hey, Donna, great to see you. Like, drops all of it. Gets it.
Almost like he's in on his ridiculousness,
yes.
whereas Tom is not.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I don't think you're wrong about that.
Yeah. It's just, and again, it's just my opinion. This is completely and 100% my opinion.
Yeah.
Some people may love Tom. They may think that little 60-pound
I love Tom.
Creep
I love
show
Tom.
is adorable.
I love Treat Yourself. I love all of his things that he has going on. It's fantastic.
The funny thing is, like, I really like, there are parts of his character that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
I love the favor trade type of thing. Like, he's always like playing the back angle, and he's always trying to like negotiate or call in favors or be like super friends with people. that part I really dig. Like, that's cool.
I think that's why you'll like him more as the
right,
series goes
and
along.
that's what people say.
You just started at season 4?
Yeah. Like,
this is the season where he kind of.
Right.
I think I'm in like the middle of season 4.
Yeah,
right now,
yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
watching it, and he's building a business. And,
which is cool. Which is where like that stuff shines a lot
Right,
more.
yeah.
But really, like the first 3 seasons are him just grossly hitting
Wow.
on women.
Wow.
Like I saw one sweet moment with him and a woman. It was him with Anne. He's like, I say a lot of weird stuff to you, but I want you to know that I think you're really great.
Yeah.
You're cool. And
When he's being sincere.
And then 2 seconds later, so do you want to have a 3-way?
But that's the
gross.
humor of
It's
the
gross.
character, dude.
It's gross.
You're taking it
He's-
too seriously.
He's a fucking stage 5 creeper.
You are
I can't
taking
get-
it
I
too
can't-
damn seriously.
I can't get behind it.
You can't. Well, you
He
can't.
fucking extorted his ex-wife on Valentine's Day. Actual extortion. That's not charming.
Wow.
That is not charming.
Well, again, I will say you're coming at it from the wrong angle, and that's where we'll leave
That
it.
is-
Because
that woman is adorable, and he's trying to. He thinks his best play is extortion. Actual extortion.
Oh, come on! Like you never extorted a woman that you wanted to sleep with.
Not my Canadian wife.
Wait, what?
His wife.
When did you have a Canadian wife?
No, that's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Wait, did I? No.
Did you?
Did I? No.
Well, there was that one time in Niagara Falls.
Oh, Brandanowitz.
I'm gonna get you a Mark Brandanowitz shirt. I think you need a Brandanowitz T-shirt.
I think he needs the money. I don't think
like
I've never seen him in anything before or after that.
I think he was in a movie with the chick that you love. I think he was in a movie with Olivia Munn.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say that he
Interesting.
was.
I should look him up, but I also didn't want if he comes back for a camp. Like I've been trying to stay relatively unspoiled about it, so I haven't looked up anything about the show because it's already completed. Normally, as I watch a show in real time, I'll look at it when it's done with the season because I know there won't be future spoilers for me in the trivia or shit like that.
Right.
So, but since I know the show's already done, I can't look up online about it because people talk about it. Because it's finished, which is perfectly reasonable. So I know that I'm just going to avoid it.
Trying to look up. It's driving me insane now.
What is?
Yep, The Baby Makers.
Was that the name of the movie?
Yep, him and Olivia Munn.
Well, there you go.
8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, there you go.
5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
So there you go.
There's a difference in that. 50% to 8%.
Yeah, well, and Rotten Tomatoes is a mix of, regular people and
Yeah, I mean,
actual critics. So.
the Rotten Tomatoes actually has a little more weight. Don't get me wrong.
You think?
Oh, God, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because of the user interface?
With the user and the critical interface. Because
Interesting.
IMDb's just user.
Interesting.
Yeah, just my opinion. Anyways, so yeah, that's my Tommy Halves rant.
But overall, you like Parks and Rec. I'm glad that you're finally watching that damn show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care what the reasons are. It's about time you're watching it.
No, I agree. I love the show. I absolutely love the
It's
show.
fantastic. It gets better too.
Yeah. Oh, I can
What do you
see
think of
that.
Andy?
I like Andy.
Yeah.
I do like Andy. Again, it's Andy is aware. He is cognizant.
I think he's not aware.
Oh, I think he's very. I think he's an idiot, but
Yeah.
I think he knows he's an idiot.
I don't think so.
In the sense that
That's part of his charm.
But in the sense that any idiot knows that he's an idiot. He's ignorant enough of it to the point, you know what I mean? You can't be super stupid and then insanely smart about how super stupid you are. There's a diminishing returns ratio
Huh.
when you get
Interesting.
down to it.
I would disagree with that. I don't think that he knows that he's an idiot, but I don't think he cares either way.
Yeah. And I think he's an idiot and emotionally stunted as well. He's a child.
Yes, he is a man child.
He is an
That is very true.
absolute
Very true.
man child.
Yeah.
So as self-aware as a man child can be,
So
and learning, which I like. There's growth.
there is an interesting. I'm not going to spoil anything for you,
Right.
but he started filming. He filmed Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, during the summer hiatus between two of the seasons of Parks and Rec.
Oh, really? So
So-
he's ripped.
So all of a sudden he comes back and he's in shape and everything. But he was still filming when the show was supposed to start airing. So they shot some episodes they made up the storyline where he had to go to London.
Oh, neat.
And there's a great arc with him in London, and I think you're gonna love it. It's hilarious.
So do they shoot stuff in London while he's there for Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. So they took some of the cast over there too.
Sure.
They shot a lot, but you'll see. I think it's actually after this upcoming. I think it's season 5.
Okay.
Maybe season 6. It was 7 seasons, and the 7th season is only 8, 9, 13 episodes.
Okay.
It's not very long that last season because they were gonna be canceled, but then they ordered 13 episodes or whatever. I'll tell you what, man. I love Nick Offerman.
We haven't even talked about how much I love Nick Offerman.
And Nick, there is a fine line between where Nick Offerman ends and Ron Swanson begins.
Yes.
But there are a lot of similarities between the two of them.
Yes.
But I love Nick Offerman. He's fantastic. I've read all of his books.
He's a fascinating character.
Saw his Netflix special.
Yeah.
I follow him on Twitter and Instagram and everything, and he's an interesting dude. The Ron Swanson character is very, very, very interesting, but Nick Offerman himself is great. Now him and Amy Poehler.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Whew. Glad I pulled that one out right away. Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman just had a reality series on NBC.
Yes, I watched a couple episodes.
Making It.
Yes.
And I watched, I think it was only 5, 6 episods.
Yep.
We watched them all because I love Nick Offerman. And Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler together are just hilarious.
Yeah.
And they had announced this almost a year ago. And it was on NBC. It was called Making It. And we watched all of them, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was good, fun, sappy, corny, silly, just fun.
Reality television. But it was good reality television.
But it was good reality television.
Yeah.
There was no drama, there was no backstabbing. It's a competition show where crafters have to get together and make certain things based on certain challenges. Yep. And even the contestants weren't they were all very friendly. They were helping each other.
Yeah.
They were hey, do you need me to hold this for you? Oh, there's only 3 seconds left. Do you need me to hold this so you can hang this up? And lending each other materials.
Yeah.
Very, very, very friendly.
Yeah, I agree.
So it was really awesome, just fun to watch. And I mean, the best part of the shows were Nick Offerman. Well, not the best part, but one of my favorite parts of the show were Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler just being telling puns, crafting and making puns.
Yes.
This is the stupidest thing, but it is perfect television for right now.
Because they have great chemistry.
They have great chemistry.
Yeah.
And I heard it got renewed for a second season.
Good.
Which
very,
is fantastic.
Very good.
And again, I'm saying, NBC, listen, it's great that you did this. You don't need any more episodes. We don't need 13 episodes.
Nope.
I think 5, 6. If you want more episodes, up it
8.
by 1. Because your final episode was 3 people. You could have it go down to 2 people.
2 people.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Have 1 more elimination. Have it be 6 episodes instead of 5. Or whatever it was. But it was a great, great show. And I would watch Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman in pretty much anything right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd
watch them host a game show.
Absolutely. Totally.
I'd watch them in a talk show.
Talk show would be awesome. Yeah. Talk show would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love just to see them talk to each other. Just a show with them talking to each other.
Oh yeah,
that'd
be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Like a Party for 5, but with Nick Offerman,
like the Steve Martin and Martin Short comedy special. I would like to see them go on tour, like a comedy show.
Oh, that'd be
awesome.
Great. Oh, dude.
Yes,
man. Anyways, so I love the Nick Offerman character as well.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, dude, meat, whiskey, and libertarianism. That's just hilarious.
Did you see the episode where Leslie finds out his birthday?
Yes, I did.
And then
yes, I absolutely did, and it was amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing. Great.
How their relationship evolves too. It's amazing. It's great.
I'm excited.
It's good stuff.
All right, we are done.
We're out of time.
That's it.
We'll have to talk theme parks next time.
Yeah. Was it good?
Interesting theme park news.
Do we have? All right.
I do. Yeah.
I
went down the rabbit hole this morning. Oh no, we can save it.
All right.
We can save it. It's some interesting Universal stuff, and I also want to talk about the Star Wars land at Disney. I'm not excited about it.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it. There you
go. That's next week's show.
Yep. Next
All
week's
right,
show.
We'll see you guys next time.
Later.